Hey guys, Kalila here, and welcome to podcast number 14. Yes, podcast number 14. Wow, 14 is my favorite number. We are here officially at the 14th, so that's cool. Anyway, hello, welcome. Today is a pretty chill day talking about all of my projects today. I don't have any finished objects at all. The last podcast, I cleared my whips, cleared them, okay? But this time, I don't have it. Wow, my last podcast was 2 weeks ago? Well, 2 weeks ago. Wow, that's cool. Usually I don't do 2-week intervals. Maybe that's why I have no finished objects. That's cool. Anyway, I'm excited for it today because I had a little impulsive cast on energy this week, okay? I cast on 2 extra small projects and I feel good about them. But let's start with what I'm wearing. Today I'm wearing the Mamba Sweater by Ula Knitwear. This is the first sweater that I did cables on. This was the first time I ever did cables. Yeah, first time I ever did cables. It is a zip sweater, so it does zip like this, but it is not hot enough. I mean, it is not cold enough to have this zip up in the house, okay? So we're just gonna wear it like this, and it looks so cute. I am so excited. Like, these cables are amazing, okay? Especially when they do this little thing. I don't know what to call it, but it makes like a little honeycomb look. And that same chart is on the sleeve. So good, okay? So good. The sleeves have folded hems. I mean, the body has a folded hem as well. So no ribbing, just folded. And that is so cool to me. This isn't ribbing either. This is just stockinette. Yeah, just plain stockinette. That's folded. It's like a Maria staple because, like, basically all of her projects have folded stockinette hems instead of ribbing. And though personally I would not do that because I feel like that's extra work, I think it is a very cute design. I will do it for the test knits though, but like for me doing it myself, if I were to choose, I would choose ribbing because it's less work. That's the only reason. Other than that, I think it looks so good. I think a folded hem is really pretty. And yeah, so this is my finished object. This was a test knit that I did. The pattern is out, so I will link it down below where you can get it. Why don't I ever charge my batteries before I film? Hold on. Alrighty, I'm back. If I sound congested, it's because I am. I was sick for like a week, but then I got better. But when I do my morning walks, the weather is so like on and off because one time it was cool, but I wore short sleeve thinking it wouldn't be cool. So then the next day I wore a long sleeve, but it was hot. And then the next day, today, it was cool again, but I wore short sleeve because I was like, okay, it was hot yesterday. So yeah, the weather change is messing me up. But anyway, you can get this pattern down below, link in the description box. Check it out, okay? Because it is so beautiful. Check out the hashtag Mamba Sweater, because everyone else's sweaters, oh, so good. So freaking good. Okay, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 whips to show, no finished objects, and a few acquisitions. She has acquisitions? I know, okay, yes, I have acquisitions, okay, I bought yarn, and I have more coming, but it won't come in today. Well, it won't come in time for this video. So the next podcast, you should see 2 more acquisitions, whatever. Anyway, the first whip I'm going to show you has no progress, okay? I have not knitted on this at all. And it is my vanilla sock using the yarn that Alexandra sent me from Sweden. It is so beautiful. So beautiful. It's a superwash merino weight yarn. I'm doing, obviously, contrast toe. I'm gonna do toe, heel, and cuff. We'll see if I have enough yarn for that, but I love the 2x2 cuff. Thank you, Chelsea. Thank you, Chelsea. But yeah, that is a whip that has not had any progress, and it is in this nice bag that I got in Norway. Okay, let's just toss that over there. When I do another vanilla sock with plain yarn, I want to do it kind of like the Sunday sock, which is actually my next whip. Like the Sunday sock, and do ribbing, 2x2 rib until the heel, and then continue it on the top of the sock, but not on the bottom of the sock. Yeah, anyway, if you've done the Sunday sock, you understand what I am saying, okay? My next, this was such an impulsive cast on, but I wanted something small and easy to work on after working on my Never sweater, which I'm going to show you in just a bit. But since I've been working on my own design, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm on the body, okay? And it is way bigger than I'm used to knitting. So I'm just like, oh, this is a lot of stockinette. I need a little break for whenever I take a break from my sweater. So I casted this Sunday sock on. It is the Sunday sock by PetiteKnit. A little focus on it. This yarn is so freaking pretty. And it's 2x2 rib. Okay, I'm in love with 2x2 rib. Like, look at that. That is so pretty. These stitches are neat, boy. But it is just so beautiful. And the beginning of the sock goes on forever and ever and ever. So it is such a nice mindless knit. I wound up only one ball of this yarn. It is, I think it's hand-dyed yarn. I got it from Apricot Yarns in San Diego. It is Rios, and it is $6.89 Valentina. I don't know if it's hand-dyed yarn, actually. This is my first time using this yarn. It is worsted weight yarn, approximately 210 yards or in 192 meters. It's 100 grams, and it is 100% superwash merino. And this is the color. So that's the color of this skein, and this is how it is working up. Oh, do you see this faint striping pattern that's happening? Here, here, and here. Oh, and here, 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 here. I love that. Is it happening on the other side? Yes. Oh, it almost looks gingham-ish, you know? I really like that. But yeah, so these are actually these will be gifts. This is a gift knit, I should say. Yeah. And I have been, whenever I walk in the mornings, I just keep it in this bag and I knit while I walk with my sisters and mom, which is very fun, actually, and very easy. Yeah, this is the yarn. The pattern calls for a DK weight yarn, but I'm using this worsted weight yarn because I feel like it's light worsted. It's 210 yards, so it could be like a heavy DK. I'm using it like a heavy DK, so that's the gift knit that I'm doing. I have 5 whips, not 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5 whips. Wow, okay. My next whip was something that was also very like, oh, not planned, very impulsive. I saw the yarn in my shelf and I was like, I need a hat. I think because I've been seeing so many people knit Oslo hats. Like I've seen Leslie from Knit California, Nee Knits, Amy, she's been doing it as well. And I'm like, I want an Oslo hat. I tried to knit the Oslo hat a year ago, but I didn't have enough yarn, so I frogged it. And I was using 1 strand of DK. But the pattern calls for 2 strands of fingering, so you can use 1 strand of DK, but I was like, well, I didn't have enough yarn, so I wasn't like anything. I just couldn't do it. But I saw this yarn. I will put a picture of it in its skein form here for you. And I was like, I want a hat. out of it. Yep. At first I was gonna make a Tulsa tee because I have 3 skeins of it. The other one is up there. But seeing this yarn, I needed an Oslo hat. Okay, so this is it caked up. You can see this skein is much warmer than this skein. And so knitting it together makes this butterscotch, buttery popcorn look. Let me get it together. It's plain stockinette at the beginning, so you know it's just gonna be folding up. But look at this color. Look at it. Oh my god. This is so beautiful. Ooh. I am doing the largest size because whenever I have different hairstyles and different braids, it bulks up my head, basically. So I can't go based on my actual head measurement. I have to go based on how thick my braids will be. Right now it's flat, but I still just want the largest size. Plus, when I get a partner in the future, if he wants to wear the hat, he could as well, you know? So 2 birds, 1 stone. And it is going to be so beautiful. It's going to be a long while before this even looks like anything, to be honest. Especially since I'll be working on it on and off. This is like a long-term project for me. It's not something that I plan to knit on consistently because I have other things planned for the next couple months. But we'll get to that. Let's look at my next whip, which is, I think all of these are impulsive cast-ons. Because none of these were planned. None of these were in my plans for the fall, okay? This wasn't even in my plan for this year. But like I said, I shop my stash a lot. I didn't say that. So ignore what I just said, like I said. I shop my stash very often because I have a pretty sizable stash and I'm always like, okay, what am I gonna knit next? What do I want to knit? And I bought this yarn in Sweden last year because I heard, I think Inga talking about it. She uses Alafislupi, Pletalupi, and this is Lupi. Yeah, it is this Icelandic yarn, and it's 100% wool, 100% Icelandic pure new wool, and this is 100 meters for 50 grams, and it's 109 yards. So it's a nice worsted weight rustic yarn, and people, whenever I talked about this yarn, people are like, oh, you do not want to use that. It is so scratchy. It's so this. Like, you will not like it on your skin. Blah, 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 blah. Shh. Shh, guys. Hush. Hush. Just because you don't like it on your skin doesn't mean that the people will not like it on their skin. Okay? I love the way this feels. I love how I can feel like every fiber in this. Okay, also the color is so beautiful. It's like this heathered black, but it's like actually dark gray, but it's black, but like super dark gray, you know, like it's, I think the white in it is making it a dark gray, but it's a black. Either way, it is pretty. I got like 12 balls of these because I wanted to knit the zipper sweater by PetiteKnit, and that's exactly what I am doing. That's what I'm knitting right now with this. And I saw Amy from the Knits knitting it. She actually just finished it. And also Alex is knitting it. I don't know if she's still knitting it because Alex has a love-hate relationship with knitting right now. She's either going to frog it or going to continue. We'll see. But I split for sleeves like weeks ago when I was, 2 weeks ago? Last week? No. 2 weeks ago. Yeah, when I was at my friend's house. So this whole thing is like the zipper part. This whole opening. It was worked flat until joining around right here. And I have enjoyed working on this so far. I'm using my Cypra Lick needles. They are the copper ones, and it's on 5mm needles, I believe. These needles are thick, boy. Let me see. Yes, 5mm needles, or US 8. I do not speak in US terms. I didn't even know people did until I watched someone and they're like, yeah, US this, and I was just like, what needle size is that? I don't know that. But yeah, so I split for sleeves, and then I knit a little bit more on it, and then I just stopped because I started on my own design. But I'm glad I reached a point where I will be able to easily pick it back up. Also, I've been documenting all of my whips so far. Like, I'm not going to put my old whips on, my old projects on there, but I have been keeping up on Ravelry with my whips and trying to just keep up with it there, because I think it's so cool. It's like an online journal. I still do not care for Ravelry's like interface, but listen, if that's what they're gonna give us, that's what I'm gonna accept, all right? And yeah, so if you want to see my progress on things, you can either follow me on Instagram or on Ravelry. All of the links are down below in the description box, because I try to keep up with all of my whips. I think when I started testing, yes, no, not I think, I know. When I started test knitting, I put it on Ravelry, and I was like, oh, why don't I just put all my test knits on Ravelry? And then it just went into like, why don't I just put the projects that I'm doing from here on out on Ravelry? And that's what happened. So all of these, no, not the socks, not the beanie. Well, the sweaters are on Ravelry. And also, I did sign up for a test knit. Shh, I know what I said, that I will not be test knitting. But if you remember, there was always an asterisk, and it was like, unless it's for Maria, who is Ullin Knitwear, okay? So she's the only person that I will probably be test knitting for the rest of the year. And I am doing another test knit for her, okay? It is the sand cardigan, all right? Alex, me, Kahila, we have been talking about this sand cardigan for months, since February, okay? So I am so happy that I finally get to knit on this cardigan, and it will be my second cardigan that I've ever knitted. Okay, I just lied, because I just remembered that I knitted a thick cardigan. Yeah, I think that was my first one, actually. Anyway, I don't really count it, but I have not done a lot of cardigans, so I'm excited to do this one. And it's using Isager yarn. Oh, this is done using Isager Merlin and Isager silk mohair, by the way. Yeah, so I accepted a test knit. I am telling you this because it goes hand in hand with my future plans and what I plan to do in the next couple months. So I accepted that test knit, and the yarn hasn't come in yet, which is actually a good thing. It's a good thing because I have been working on my own design, and it's called the Never Sweater. The Never Sweater. It's called the Never Sweater because I said I would never knit something on my own and never write a knitting pattern, okay? Yeah, that flew out the window. Alright? It did. It did. Like Kahila and I always say, our nevers are soft nevers. Just see my never as something with an asterisk behind it all the time. So I'm knitting my Never Sweater using woolly knit British wool, 100%. So they're 4-ply British wool, and I'm using the color Purple Heather Mix. It's called Purple Heather Mix because it is heathered. So it's mixed with some blues and some pinky reds, and it is beautiful. Kahila actually got this yarn like 2 years ago or so. Last year? 2 years ago? One of those years. And I told her that when she got it, because we were on a spree where we were just buying cones because we saw Inga had so many cones and we're like, let's try them. And Rebecca from the Crayabea always talked about woolly knit. And so we're like, ooh, let's try woolly knit. This was so long ago, oh my gosh. And when she got this color, I was like, I'm gonna take that and knit it for myself. Like, if you don't use it, I'm gonna use it. 2 years later, she still hadn't used it, so boom, it is for my first design. The first time I used woolly knit was for my birch sweater by Ula Knitwear, aka Maria, and oh, I loved it so much. Oh, it's so nice. So I'm so happy to be using it for my first design, and I'm also gonna use it for my second design, but we'll talk about that later. Yeah, so I'm using 2 strands of this woolly knit cone to make a nice DK weight. Yeah, I'm putting it in this bag. I think this is a laundry bag. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I started this on the 15th, and I think up until now, which is the 28th, I didn't work on it for like 2 days out of that time. So it's going on 2 weeks I've been working on this. Let's see, that's 1. I haven't even been working on this for 2 weeks yet. Let's see, 1 week and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. I've been working on this for a week and 5 days. This is what I have of my Never sweater. This is the size extra small that I'm doing. So my sizes range from extra small to 5XL. So from 75 to 150 centimeters, that is before ease. So that's when, if you're trying to get the ease, which the ease of this sweater is 50 to 60 centimeters or 20 to 24 inches of positive ease. And the base, like, chest circumference is meant to fit a 75 to 150, but that's just for if you want 20 inches to 24 inches of positive ease, because you can choose whatever you want. So the finished chest circumference, so what's actually important right now, the finished chest circumference of the sweater ranges from 130 centimeters for the extra small to 200 centimeters for the 5XL. So those are the finished bust measurements for the sweater. So you'll just choose whatever gives you 20 to 24 inches of positive ease, or if you don't want that much ease, sorry for the smaller sizes, you don't really have many options to go down. Like, you're still gonna end up with like 18, 15 inches of positive ease. But I made it this way so that people who have bigger bust circumferences can choose to go down sizes to make a smaller size, which I feel like is not very common. Like, I scaled the bigger size, like the last 5 sizes, upward. So they have like 4 extra inches. So if they want to go down, like let's say they just want 10 or they just want 8. So anyone from like the extra large to the 5XL can go down many sizes to get less ease, but still have a sweater that fits them nicely. So the first 5 sizes, you kind of stuck with a lot of ease. I did it so that everyone could have 20 to 24 inches of positive ease, 50 to 60 centimeters, if you want it. So that's my intended bust ease for the sweater. I want to see people wearing it with 20 to 24, 50 to 60 centimeters of positive ease. But of course, you can choose these that you want. The test knit is I'm gonna have a tester call in about 2 weeks. So I'm thinking the second week of October, so between the 8th and the 14th of October, that is when I will do a tester call. But yeah, I wanted it to be very, very, very big, because I wanted everyone to be able to fit this sweater. I'm not, like, I could say, yes, it's size inclusive, but I don't want to be like, yes, my pattern is size inclusive, because, like, I just want the pattern to speak for itself. Like, I just want to make a pattern that can fit many people. So it goes from size, oh, I forgot to say it in inches. I said it in centimeters. I'm so sorry. My inches girlies. That's gender neutral term for me, okay? I'm not calling everyone a girl. Okay. Yes. So finished bust circumference is 130 centimeters to 200 centimeters. That's the range, which is 51.5 inches to 79 inches. Finished bust. Yeah. So that's the range. Yeah, I just wanted to be able to create a pattern that could fit many people. Okay? And hopefully that hit the bar, hit the bell, hit the head on the nail, hit the nail on the head, whatever. Anyway, let me talk about this pattern. So like I said, I'm doing the size extra small, which will give me around, it'll give me around 21 inches of positive ease. The sleeves look so huge right now because the body is very much so scrunched up on here. So to give you just a little visual, this body has 300 stitches on it right now for the extra small. And that's all I'm gonna say, because if you have been knitting raglan sweaters, you know how many stitches are usually on your needles, and you'll be like, what the fuck? I did a 2x2 rib so that it could be very stretchy. It's not very stretchy right now because 2x2 rib always scrunches up, but I did it so that if you didn't want such a close like neckline, you can block it out so that it could be like this, more like that. And more comfortable, because I feel like 2x2 gives more stretch than 1x1, and also like it's just so good. Ignore my German short rows. Oh gosh. But yeah, I just feel like 2x2 rib is just it's just such a good design feature. Another design feature of this is my 6-stitch raglan. I had not seen another sweater with a 6-stitch raglan until I saw the Rest the Sweater by Hive Knits. And a cardigan. Rest the Cardigan? I think they have the same name, right? So pretty, so beautiful. I'll put up a picture so you can see. And Kahila brought it to my attention that I had a 6-stitch raglan. I didn't notice it at first because I was just focused on the bottom half of the sweater and how I was like, oh my gosh, I love the colors that she chose for this. And like, I was just too busy looking at that part to realize that she also had a 6-stitch raglan. I was like, that's so cool. So yeah, this was a very intentional design feature because since it is a plain raglan sweater, you know, I wanted some character on this sweater. Like something to look at and not be bored and be like, dang, this was really nice on here. So 6-stitch raglan, the biggest raglan I had done before this was 3-stitch raglan, and that's the biggest I've seen so far, really. And at first, before doing this, I thought that doing a raglan that was thicker would affect the way the sweater is, like constructed, the way it looks, and I was just like, why don't people do bigger raglans? And then designing it myself, I realized, oh, nothing is wrong with it. It is easy to do, and yeah. So this is it on me so far. It is past my natural waist, and I still have 19 more centimeters to go, because I want this to be very long, okay? I'm past the point where I would have done ribbing on a normal sweater that I would have knit, and I'm just like, yes. I have been keeping track of what I've been doing here by putting stitch markers just so that I can feel like I've actually been doing stuff, because this is the biggest sweater I have knit, and I am like it's DK weight, 4mm needles, and it's a 135 centimeter bust sweater that I'm knitting. That's a lot for me. I now know what it's like for people who knit bigger sizes, because I'm like, wow, I will never complain about how long it takes me to knit a sweater ever again. I don't think I have complained, but like, that is amazing. But also, what's keeping me motivated is doing 5 centimeters every single day, and that's it. So I was like, okay, I want to knit this body, right? And it's going to take forever, but I have deadlines. I don't want it to take forever, okay? So I was like, okay, instead of seeing this as a sea of stockinette, do 5 centimeters every single day. So I was like, okay, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. In 5 days, I can get 25 centimeters done. 30, 35. In a week, I can get 35 centimeters done, which is basically the rest of the sweater. Yes. So I started doing that, and when I tell you, it has motivated me so much. My knitting mojo has never been so high. I've just been so excited to knit, and by the end of this week, I will be done with the body of this sweater, which I'm so excited because I'm ready to see the actual size. You can't really see the width of this sweater besides the sleeves. The sleeves look absolutely huge-mongous, okay? I mean, look at the hole. The sweater, this is the sleeve. So this whole thing right here, that's the sleeve opening. I have figured out how I'm going to do my decreases, okay? All right? Yeah. So I want this sweater to be like 73 centimeters long for my size. So that's a lot of knitting. And I'm pretty sure that by the 30th, I will finish the body of the sweater. Which means that gives me the first week of October to finish both sleeves, because let's say one sleeve could probably take me like 3 days, 3.5 days, and then the other sleeve could take me like 3.5 days, and 3.5 and 3.5 is what? 7. So it will take me an entire week to knit both sleeves. Then I can have the tester call the next week. But after I block it, because it needs to be blocked, yes. It needs to be blocked. I'm not going to stretch out the neckline or anything. I'm just going to block it and see how it sits. Based on my birch sweater, ignore how messily folded everything is, I think this will block out very nicely. I started out wishing that I used a yarn that was drapier so that I could see it drape more, but it's fine. It's fine, because I can always make another one, which I will be making another one. But this is my never sweater so far, and hopefully, yeah, hopefully my tester call will come. No, not hopefully, it will. Between the 8th and the 14th, I will make a podcast video on it, so you guys will be able to. Will it be a podcast? It could be a podcast. Yeah, it could be a podcast. I will make a podcast so that you guys can be able to click on the Google Doc. Kahila made my form and everything. She made my form. She made my message to my testers that I'll be getting, like everything. She did everything behind the scenes so that I can just focus on doing the pattern. Bless you, sister. Because the thought of doing the form literally does my head in, okay? Anyway, that's what's going on with my never sweater. I plan to have a 12-week testing period because I know that this is going to take a while, okay? It's gonna take a long time and take a lot of yarn, okay? So if you are interested in this sweater, I have no clue what the yardages will be for the sweaters just yet because I need to finish my sweater myself, but I'm thinking every size is gonna be in the 2000s yards, 2000 yardage, meterage section. Yeah. When I said I want to drown in my knits, you know, it means drown in some yarn too. That's why I'm also using yarn that is very much so accessible and affordable for the masses, because I want you guys to be able to see the yarn and get the yarn easily, because it's going to be a lot of yardage, a lot of yarn being used. I want you to be able to get 2,500 meters of a yarn, and you can spend 30 to 60 pounds and be good, you know? So I said pounds because I'm thinking about when I buy from Wool Warehouse, because I'm gonna show you that my next sample is gonna be in Drops Flora and Drops Kid Silk Mohair. And Woolly Knit is very, very affordable. It's like 20 pounds for, like 25 pounds for 500 grams. And 500 grams is like 2,500 meters. So you're getting a sweater for 25 pounds. Plus more yarn. Like, that is good, okay? Yeah, so that's my Never sweater. By the time I see you guys again, I should be done with it and, you know, hopefully wearing it. Eee! That would be exciting. That would be very exciting. And it's getting cooler. Oh, I am just so ready for fall to like really kick in. It has been a little bit. That's why I'm sounding like this. It's making me sound like this so early. Okay. Before I get into talking about my Never sweater again, which I will be talking about like future designs that I will be doing. Future designs is just one more. Remember this yarn? And I was doing my Louvre sweater with it, and I split for sleeves and everything, and I wow, this feels amazing. Yeah, I'm frogging out, right? And I said I was gonna do the 1031 sweater by Ozetta. Earlier this week, I saw her Miles shirt jacket. Is that what it's called? I keep calling it that, but I'm not sure if that's the actual name. I think it is, but let me double check. Yeah, it's the Miles shirt jacket. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. So freaking beautiful. I am so in love with it. And when I saw it, I was like, wait a second, 6mm needles, you know, bulky weight yarn. Instead of that sweater, I can do the Miles shirt jacket. Sorry, 1031 sweater, you're just going to have to be done another time. So that yarn, I just wanted to update you guys on that yarn. I don't know why, I just felt the urge to, especially since my plans for it changed. So yeah, I'm gonna do the Miles shirt jacket for that. When am I gonna do that? Girl, I don't know. I don't know. No clue. Maybe December, but no. Never mind. Ignore what I just said. That's not happening. I have too many whips, too many projects planned for that to interrupt. So that will be like February project. We'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling. But let's move on to acquisitions and future plans. That kind of goes hand in hand with this yarn that I got. Okay. So I had leftover yarn of this from my birch sweater. This is Drops Mohair in the color Off-White. And I was like, oh, perfect. I'm going to get this yarn for the balloon sweater to pair with my hand-dyed yarn. The yarn I got from Camellia Fiber Co. Rainbow Sprinkles. And I was like, okay, let me get some more. So I got like 10 more, I think. 10 more balls of the mohair. First of all, this says Off-White. Okay, it kind of looks Off-White compared to my nails. It is so beautiful. Oh, it's so lush. Luxe. And lush. Yeah, so I got that for the balloon sweater. I don't want to do the balloon sweater anymore. I'm sorry, Chelsea. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I have not told you this, but Kahila and Alex, they're continuing with their balloons. But I thought about wearing it, and I was just like, I don't think I want to wear it. And I have been trying to be more intentional with my knitting. Like now I'm knitting because I want to wear these projects and not just because I want to knit them. Because the first year and a half of knitting, I was just knitting because I wanted to knit. I was knitting to gain some knowledge, to just up my skill level. So it was less about like, oh, I want to wear this project, and more about like, oh, I want to show to myself that I can knit these techniques and knit these projects, yada yada. But now that I have gained all that knowledge, I want to start knitting stuff that I know that I'm going to wear, and I don't think I'll be wearing the balloon sweater often. So I'm gonna probably do a Monday sweater with that or something. Anyway, but since I had this mohair, and I knew I wanted to make a second sample of my Never sweater in drops yarn, and I wanted a mohair one. Okay, I wanted a sample in mohair. So I decided to get some drops flora. I got, hold on. How many did I get? 12 balls. Yeah, I got 12 balls of this, which equaled 2,500 yards and meters, I believe. It was only 25 pounds. 25, 39 pounds for it. Yeah, so I got 12 balls of Drops Flora in the color White Fog. I didn't want a pure white, so I was like, okay, let me get White Fog. And when it came in, I was like, oh my gosh. You guys already know, I'm not really a neutral girly. I knit in every single color under the rainbow. So I don't just like stick with one thing. And white, I don't want to stain it. But after making my birch sweater, I changed my mind about that. So I like it now. Anyway, I haven't used Drops Flora before. So this was like the perfect time to get it and try it. And I love that this literally looks like white fog. Like, well, at least California fog. Because California fog is kind of hazy and nasty and brown. Okay, it's not brown. I'm sorry. Sometimes it is. But it's literally a white fog, because it's like, it's not white, it has like a haze to it, so that's perfect. I got that to pair with this. Ooh, it's going to make the most beautiful neutral color ever, because this is not like white, and this is off white, and it's just, ooh. I love when my mohair and my yarn, hello. I love when my mohair and my like wool strand don't match perfectly. This looks like such a perfect yarn. But this yarn is the same composition of Drops Lima. It's a fingering weight yarn, and it's 50 grams, 210 meters, or 230 yards. It's 65% wool, 35% alpaca. So if you want a DK weight equivalent to this 65 wool, 35 alpaca, Drops Lima is the same thing as this. If you want a worsted weight version, Drops Nepal, same as this. So Drops Flora, Drops Lima, Drops Nepal, they are all the same composition, but one is fingering, one is DK, and one is worsted. So that is so beautiful. And I think one of the Drops bulky weight one is the same composition. Is it Melody? I don't think it's Melody. Drops Melody is like a fluffy fluff, right? Yeah. So anyway, just a little hint. But yeah, I wanted a Never sweater in mohair. I wanted a neutral color so that people can see it. Like, I feel like you can see a lot of things better in a kind of neutral color. That kind of attracts people more. So I was like, okay, you know, the purple is cute. I like it. It's nice. But I'll be knitting this alongside my test knitters. I think that's so cool. Yeah, I'll be knitting this alongside my test knitters so that when the pattern is released, you guys can see a neutral version of the sweater as well as the very colorful version that I'm knitting right now. And also so you can see it in a mohair fingering weight composition pairing. Plus I love mohair. Okay, so it needs to happen. All right. And also, sorry, I keep saying and also so that you can see it in a different yarn, but also a nice yarn that is very accessible to, I think, most people around the world. That will be a second sample of my Never sweater. That is going to be worked probably in November time. like late November, early December, because I want the pattern to be released in January, which will give you guys a good 12 weeks to knit on it. And yeah, because October, I'm going to be knitting on the sand cardigan test knit while my test knit is going on. But also, I'll be designing my second sweater. So my second sweater is going, I'm not going to release the name just yet because I want to actually work on it a little bit. But I already have the name for it, the design planned for it, and I want to start on this while I'm doing the test knit, and it's going to be worked in this pink woolly knit cone, which is so ironic because my test knit is in a pink yarn. But anyway, it's going to be worked in this pink woolly knit cone. So pretty. It is British wool, 4-ply. And it's called Pink Rose Mix. That's what the cone is called. I got this from Woolly Knit, like, I bought it like a year or two ago when I was going on my cone craze. But I'm going to use one strand of this Woolly Knit yarn. And I also bought some drops mohair to pair with it. Now, these yarns do not match at all. That's intentional. Anytime my yarns don't match with the mohair, it's very intentional because I don't want them to match perfectly. I got this color, what was it called? Pink clay? I don't remember, but this is the mohair. It is like a very neutral pink. It's like a, is it cool? I don't know if it's a cool color. I'm not really well versed with that, but it kind of looks like a cool color. It's like a cool pink color. I got it to work with this. You're probably like, girl, that does not match at all. I know. I wanted something that would not take away from the super pinkness of this. Like, I didn't want to change the pink color. And I was like, I wanted to like neutralize it in a way. So if you saw my white fog yarn, Flora, and the white mohair, putting it together will make like this nice neutral white looking color. So I wanted a nice neutral looking pink color, and I wanted to pair it with like something that was almost like a white pairing, but it's not white. It's like a mohair with a pink, just a pink hue, a pink haze. And I think people forget that the mohair will not look this concentrated when you pair it with another color. So you see it like this, but it's actually just gonna be like that. Just like a nice silvery strand to pair with this, and I am excited to see how that goes. Like, it is very much so not matchy, but trust the process, guys, okay? I have been pairing random mohairs with colors for years now, and it's always turned out great. So trust the process. I think I got 12 with this as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Did I get 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, okay. I got 10 balls of this mohair. I usually get around 10 to 12 of mohair every time. And that will be my next sweater design that I'll be working on alongside my test knit. So October, it will be the sand cardigan and my new design, while my never sweater goes into testing. So I want, by the end of November, to finish those two projects. And in between, I'll probably be working on socks, beanies, but those two will be the main projects for now. The zipper sweater ain't seeing me until like December. So that is it. Whoa. Okay. That's all that I have for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I feel like I talk so much, but I didn't have that much to show. which is cool. I actually did have a lot to show, but not a lot to talk about on them besides my sweater. But yeah, so like I'll just remind you guys, the sizing is 130 centimeters to 130 to 200 centimeters, or 52.5 inches to 79 inches finished circumference. And I'm excited to do the tester call. This will be my first ever tester call, and I'm excited to see the interest in it. Let me know if you plan to sign up and what yarn you would use for the Never sweater, or if you are waiting for the pattern to come out, let me know what yarn you would want to use for it when it does come out, okay? And that is all. I'll see you guys next time. Okay, bye.